Good evening and welcome to Harvest Hand's first annual virtual gala. We are here in our warehouse full of food, wanting to show you what we're all about and what we're doing. I'm co-founder of Harvest Hands along with my husband Jim, and we're just so grateful that you've joined us tonight. I also want to introduce to you George Glover, who's come to us a godsend as an advisor and helper. He comes with a wealth of knowledge and experience. And so, George, we just welcome you aboard. I thank you that you're part of the team.
Well, thank you, Jacinta and Jim. And honestly, it's an honor to be with you tonight and really excited about this night and excited to be part of the work of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center.
Exactly.
So
tell us what tonight's all about.
Well, we're gonna start off the night by saying that we hope you learn a lot more about the amazing, innovative work of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center. This is not just a food bank, right, Jim? This is a distribution food bank that supplies food to some 90 agencies across Southwest Ontario. You can see behind us here on the set food that has come in from bakers, growers, and retailers, all 100% donated here and is picked up by Harvest Hands, brought here to the warehouse, sorted, and made sure it's safe before it goes out to the different agencies. But the purpose of tonight is to see that red box thermometer on your screen, to the side of the screen there, work its way up. Now today, over the last days, as we've been promoting this live telethon event, people have generously called in or made donations over our website. And right now, as we go to air, we have $13,300 already raised. And that money will go toward paying for the gas to keep the trucks on the road, picking up and bringing the food back here to the warehouse, keeping the lights on, keeping the heat on, keeping the refrigerators and the freezers going to keep the food safely stored. And so we need support tonight on an ongoing basis to get Harvest Hands to be more sustainable, because Harvest Hands Food Bank receives no government funding whatsoever. This organization, as a registered Canadian charity, is made possible entirely thanks to friends like you who give donations large and small and medium size and every size to help sustain this work. So we want to challenge you tonight to pick up your phone and give us a call. There's ladies in the office right now volunteering their time to take donations over the phone tonight. And please have your credit card ready if you want to give a one-time gift or you want to give a monthly gift to help sustain our work for $25, $50 a month or more. It's going to help impact lives year-round. So call the number on the screen. It's 1-800-439-1898, or go to our website to harvesthands.ca to make a donation tonight. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jim Collins, our co-founder and executive director of Harvest Hands, to make a few comments to start off the evening. Jim, over to you.
Thank you very much, George. Well, as George said, we are not a food bank. We are a food bank distribution center, and we rescue large quantities of food and redistribute to various organizations such as food banks, missions, shelters, and so on. And we believe in giving everyone a hand up to a better future. George, over to you.
All right, thanks, Jim. And with that, we tonight, with a bunch of videos we're going to show you that we prepared, we're going to give you a very cool behind-the-scenes view about the work of Harvest Hands. So sit tight. This is our first video tonight. We hope you enjoy it.
Hi, we're Jim and Jacinta Collins, founders of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Bank.
In early 2020, we started to gather food that normally would be thrown out. We got tossed a curveball that nobody saw coming. So we just took the bull by the horns and found a new way to help people. And it started with a small carload of food and grew into massive truckloads to where we are supplying over 85 to 90 centers in Southwest Ontario, food shelters, food banks, Salvation Army, men's missions, and women's missions. The quality of the product that's being donated is superior and abundant, And as it comes in, we speedily turn it around and ship it out to all the different locations.
Our heart is not only to help those in southwestern Ontario, but to give them a hand up for a better future. We simply couldn't do it without you.
We are able to take care of so many thousands of people in southwestern Ontario, and you can be a part of that. Come see what we're all about, harvesthands.ca, and fill out the form and help us to carry on, especially as we head into the winter months. Every dollar matters, and together we can ensure that no one goes hungry in our local communities. So 2 years ago, a very good friend of ours was going to a food bank down in Windsor and bringing a carload of food back to St. Thomas to a soup kitchen. And then that dear friend got very ill. And so Jim said to him, "Why don't you let me do this for you?" So Jim went down to Windsor and got a carload of food. And the next week he did the same thing. And the fellows at the food bank said, "Don't you have a bigger vehicle? Because we can give you a lot more." So Jim went down with a van. And then, of course, with a van load of food, you need to find more people to give it to. And then they said, "Listen, because of this pandemic that's just smacked us all down, we're going to close our food bank down. So if you get a big truck, we can give you all the perishable product we have." Well, that was great, except we did not have a fridge, a freezer to hold all that product. So we very quickly purchased a bunch of used, anything that had a heartbeat, fridges and freezers, and brought the food back and started to look for places to distribute. But it's an amazing thing that there's an entire network of people that look out for each other that are in this position that need food. They would say to us, "Don't you know about the pregnancy center in your town? They were going to have 2 fundraisers, and because of the pandemic, they had to cancel them, and they have no food." So Jim went over there with a truckload of food, and they could not believe how much product we were able to give them. Well, that just stirred Jim up a little more, because if we've got 1 truckload, we can get 2. And if we can feed 200 people, surely we can feed 2,000. And let's go get some dairy, and let's go get some beef, and let's go get some milk. And he did. And the result is what you see behind us. We started in a small auditorium where we carried everything down the stairs and back up again. And then we were sort of forced out of that location, and we were able to find this fabulous location that could house everything, moving it in and out on pallets, which is a miracle after you carry it up and down the stairs. At this point, we were roaring quickly to a $5 million point of food that we have collected. And we need help today. And that's why we're talking to you.
All right. Thanks, Jacinta. And Jim, over to you. How we got started.
Well, as Jacinta said, early in 2020, we recognized the increasing number of people in need of food. You may find it interesting that almost half of the food produced in Canada is lost or wasted. 1 in 8 people in Canada, or 12% of the Canadian population, experience some measure of food insecurity every single day. Well, what does that mean? That means that children, men and women often go to bed hungry. So we decided to reach out to growers and food processors and retailers and others. It was as simple as knocking on the door and asking them if they had any surplus product. Do you have any seconds? Do you have any product that is approaching the best before date? And to our amazement, they responded in a magnificent way. Our mission at Harvest Hands is to provide food for those in need by finding solutions to both systemic poverty and large food surpluses that coexist in our society today. This disparity creates both hunger and waste at either end of the food spectrum. And by bringing these two entities together, creates an enormous benefit for both while having an extraordinary impact on humanity. Our motivation we're motivated to demonstrate God's love through acts of kindness. In the James, it says very clearly, suppose someone, whether a man or woman, needs clothes or food, and one of you tells that person, go in peace, keep warm and eat well, but fail to provide for that person's physical needs and basic essentials of life, what good does it do? Harvest Hands is committed to meet the needs of the most vulnerable in our sphere of influence in our region. You may ask, well, how does that work? Our volunteers pick up food donations from across the region and bring it to our distribution center right here in St. Thomas. And upon receipt, our volunteers sort and divide lots of food into more manageable sizes that can be easily distributed and efficiently consumed. And we do all this in a timely manner. We redistribute the food to our partners throughout southwestern Ontario, from Windsor to Oshawa. You may say, well, how do we reach those people? Well, we distribute food and other essentials through a network of more than 90 agencies in southwestern Ontario. And this includes food banks, pantries, soup kitchens, missions, emergency shelters, residents, seniors, prepared meals, porch drops, and lunch programs. And I can also say this, that you know, as I said in the beginning, we are a food distribution center, and we leave it up to the people in the individual areas to see that it goes to the right people at the right time. George, over to you.
All righty, thanks, Jim. Appreciate the background on the work of Harvest Hands, and we want to thank those of you that are already calling in to our toll-free number and making some donations. We've received one for $100 and one for $500, one for $1,000. We've had some generous donations, and we just want you to know we're grateful for every gift that comes in to help the work of Harvest Hands. To keep the lights on, to keep the heat going, to pay for the refrigeration, and pay for those trucks that are going out, picking up the food and bringing it back, processing it and delivering it to some 90 agencies across southwestern Ontario. So every donation will help put food in the hands of thousands of homes that are desperately in need of nutritious meals. Now tonight, thanks to one of our generous donors, we have 3 Amazon Echo Dots that we're giving away tonight. If you leave your comments in the chat box of the YouTube screen there, the ladies in the office there will draw 3 winners tonight. We have 3 of these to give away. Put your comments in there. To be eligible to win tonight, you'll have to put your comments in there, and then we'll pick 3 of you tonight and announce the winners while we're live tonight on the live stream broadcast here for Harvest Hands. And we want to encourage you to pick up the phone tonight, give us a call, have your credit card ready, whether you want to give a one-time gift or you want to give toward a project, or you'd like to join as a monthly partner for $25 or $50 a month. You're going to help provide nutritious meals to some 90 agencies across southwestern Ontario, all the way from GTA up to the Bruce Peninsula, Wellington, Essex, all those towns and cities you see on the map. Those are all the different agencies that we're providing food to across southwestern Ontario. And so with that, we're going to go to a video now and show you a little bit more behind the scenes of a typical day here at Harvest Hands in St. Thomas, Ontario.
Hi, my name is Jim Collins. My wife and I founded Harvest Hands. Let me walk you through a little bit of what we do each and every day. We start our day early, usually around 5 a.m. There's always a lot to be done, so we like to get a head start as soon as possible. Once the food comes to our warehouse, this is what we do with it. We sort through the food to make sure all the produce is fresh and safe to eat. We package the food to get ready for delivery. We load up the trucks and cars to deliver to 90+ facilities across southwestern Ontario. Here are some of the other tasks that we usually have to get done in a typical day: arranging pickups and deliveries, directing the volunteers, giving tours of our warehouse, to name just a few.
We usually end the days in early evening. We love what we do, and we're passionate about the work we do at Harvest Hands. Be sure to check out our website to learn more about us. Together, with your support, we can help and end hunger and nourish hope for thousands in need.
So this project that we have undertaken, it is not something we were looking for. It's not something we had planned for. It just kind of fell into our lap. But when this curveball hit us, as it did a lot of people 20 months ago, we just grabbed this thing by the horns and decided, okay, let's see what we can do with this. And every day there's new opportunities. Mm-hmm. Every day there's a phone call. For instance, Jim got a call from a place in one of the towns near us, and it's an apartment building of 242 apartments, and it's seniors. And they said, we heard that you have food, and we're wondering if you could possibly help us. And so Jim tried to figure out the situation, and they said, when this pandemic hit, the very church that supported us pulled their support, and we have no food. And so we go there with a massive truck once a week and feed these 400 to 500 people that are in this apartment building. And that is just one story. Jim comes home at night and the stories never end. I'm not here every day, he is, but it's like this person called, that person called, this person said we need to call that person, and all of a sudden we're up to 100 people we're supplying every week or every other week. And we're not talking about 2 grocery bags of food. We're talking about pallets of food, truckloads of food. We went to one location that we hadn't been yet, and we filled a van full of food. And the fellow that ran the food bank, he came out and he said, well, what can I have? And he started looking at it, and he took out 2 or 3 boxes, and I said, no, we brought the whole thing for you. You can have all of it. He was overwhelmed. And he said, I don't know what to do with this. And I said, well, what about, is there a church here that makes food? Because a lot of them do, for the seniors or for the homeless. He goes, oh yeah, there's church down the road. I can give it to them. They'll take this and they'll take that. And that's just how it's worked. It's like it has exploded on us. It's like God has breathed on this project, and because we've taken it and done something with it, he just keeps increasing it. It's like the woman with the flask of oil in the Bible. We just keep pouring, and he keeps filling it up.
All righty, Jacinta, thank you. Well said. And amazing things happening here at Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center. And Jim, over to you for comments on the next segment here, if you would.
All right. Well, since March of 2020, we've distributed more than $4.2 million worth of food, all of which we have not paid $1 for. We've provided necessary food to tens of thousands of the most vulnerable people in the region. We are well positioned to continue to meet the needs of the hungry, as we have an inventory behind me worth $250,000 worth of shelf-stable food ready to respond to the growing insecurity that is unfolding before our very eyes. I'd like to share with you a few statistics from 2020. We distributed more than 77,000 hamburgers, 22,000 containers of yogurt, 146,000 high-quality hot dogs, 7,500 chicken legs, 1,800 turkey breasts, 5,500 packages of asparagus, and over tens of thousands of tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and squash. And I'm not talking about inferior product. I'm talking about top quality product that you would be able to find and pay good money in a store for. Since the beginning, as I said, the value is $4.2 million, and we're fast approaching. For example, 1 week last week we did over $92,000. $4,200,000 translates into 82,000 meals. which will take care of about 60,000 people. And we haven't even mentioned the tons and tons of greenhouse gas that are saved because this product finds its way into the hands of needy people and not in the local landfill.
And so you can see as this project grows exponentially, the costs go right along with it. And we've been able to sustain it until we moved into this new location where it just exploded. And so this bank of fridges and freezers just will not hold the capacity and the volume of food that is now coming in. So we're looking for support. We need a walk-in freezer and a walk-in cooler to hold pallets and pallets of food. And so we're asking you to help us. You know, this is not a job that's been designated for Jim and myself. This is all of our responsibility to help feed these people. And this is our neighborhood, this is our cities, this is your city. And we're coming in there to feed people. So we're asking you today, help us. We can't do it without you. And I don't believe that God would give us this facility and this amount of food and not give those who come alongside and help us. So we just thank you for pushing that donate button and helping us get this job done.
Alrighty, thanks Jacinta and Jim. And we want to encourage you to go to your computer or you're watching this live stream feed tonight for this Harvest Hands Telethon Gala to enter your comments or your questions. We really want to hear from you. I'm sure you've got some questions, you've got some comments. We appreciate everybody that's taken a moment to send in some comments already. And to that end, we're glad to announce our first winner tonight for the Amazon Echo Dot that we're giving away tonight. Congratulations to David Brown. David, thanks for your comments tonight, and be sure to contact the office here with your address and information, and we'll be putting this into the mail to you, thanks to some generous donors to Harvest Hands for making these Echo Dots available. We have 2 more to draw from tonight, so send the comments in. We also want to thank Hully Gully for being our corporate sponsor tonight.
Yes.
Randy and Audrey Collins and the Collins family, generous supporters of the work of Harvest Hands, and big shout out to them for sponsoring and helping the work of Harvest Hands.
Yes, for sure.
And with that, we want to encourage you to give us a call, help us get those red box thermometer up. You'll see it's starting to inch its way up the boxes there, turning from brown to red as the calls have been coming in. We want to thank you for another donation that's come in over the phone lines tonight. But give us a call. We'd love to hear from you with your questions. Your donations are appreciated tonight to help us get that red thermometer up the goal, to help get food out to all these communities across southwestern Ontario. Give us a call at 1-800-439-1898. The ladies are there live volunteering in the office to take your calls, take your donations, have your credit card ready. Every donation will help put nutritious meals in the hands of agencies across southwestern Ontario. Some 20,000 people, I believe, Jim, per month are being fed through the work of Harvest Hands. And of course, you can go to the website and click the donate button at the brand new harvesthands.ca website. And one of the other projects we want to talk about tonight that we're going to show you a little video on right now, and that is the vision for a commercial kitchen here in the warehouse so that we can get to almost a zero waste goal. And that is food that is maybe near the end of its life, fresh food that comes in. We want to be able to cook it, to can it, to bottle it, to preserve it, that we can fill up those freezers and even make the food donations go that much further. But to do that, we need some donations and some of you to open some doors so that we can build a state-of-the-art commercial kitchen here at Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center in St. Thomas. So with that, we're going to show you this video right now. We hope you enjoy it.
Hi, we're Jim and Jacinta Collins, founders of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Bank.
We have an empty kitchen and we need your help so that we can further reduce food waste. Our plans are to convert this to a commercial kitchen to be able to process excess food into meals for families, for homeless, for seniors, and those in need.
Some of the items that will be required will be, of course, convection ovens and a large stove with huge pots that we can put on there, because so much of the product we can make soup or stews or ready-to-go meals. So it would be so wonderful to have the support of the community to be able to do this project and help the people, especially as we're coming into inclement weather. Come visit us at our website, harvesthands.ca, and see how you can contribute on a monthly basis to donate finances or donate your time and come and see our facility and see what we're doing. Every dollar matters, and together we can ensure that no one goes hungry in our local communities. So you can see with the product that's coming in that if we could preserve the excess food that can't be shipped out, we can make preserves, we can make sauces, we can make, you know, pasta, dinners, ready to go meals, soups and stews, but we can't do it without a board certified commercial kitchen. And I don't think it's a coincidence that this space that we rented has a beautiful kitchen in it, large kitchen, but it doesn't have the commercial vehicles that we need to be able to produce the food. So we're asking you tonight to contribute to that. Maybe you can't do it, but maybe you know somebody who can. In this downturn economy, there are restaurants that are closing. Do you know somebody who could donate some equipment for us? Do you know somebody who would be willing to sponsor it? Because it'll help feed thousands and thousands, and I mean we're dealing with thousands of people that need to be fed. And you know, you think possibly, well, that could never happen to me, that doesn't I'm not part of that group. You know, this pandemic has zeroed in on people who never thought they'd have to come and ask for food. So we're asking for your help tonight. We're asking you to be generous and to give to this cause. As George said, we can give you a charitable receipt for any amount, and we appreciate the generosity of the hearts.
All right, thanks, Jacinta, and we want to thank you for the comments that are coming in tonight. I'll just read some of them here from Tillsonburg, Ontario. Helping Hands Food Bank in Tillsonburg is so grateful for all the food they receive from Harvest Hands. And thanks for that comment. Another one comes in tonight. We're blessed that Harvest Hands is helping us, an anonymous family. Another one, Harvest Hands has helped us when we were in need. Another comment that we are blessed to be a volunteer at Harvest Hands. So we appreciate all those comments. We want to encourage you to keep sending your comments in. We want to thank you also, those of you that have phoned in or given a donation off our website. One just came in for $1,000. Thank you for that from one family. Thank you for that very generous donation that you've called in tonight over our phone lines. And the phone lines are open. Give us a call at 1-800-439-1898 or go to our website at harvesthands.ca to make a donation to help further the work of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center. And of course, if you want to put your comments in the chat box there of YouTube, we'll make sure that you're included in a draw for these cool little Echo Amazon Dot speakers that you can put in your home and get somebody to teach you how to hook this innovative little device up. And so with that, over to Jim for a few comments about our next segment.
Okay, well, thank you very much, George. We are very honored and really blessed to be able to give tours of our facility. And we were honored to have the opportunity to show Karen Vecchio, the MP for Elgin, Middlesex, London, around the warehouse recently. And here's a short message from her.
Hi, I'm Karen Vecchio, Member of Parliament for Elgin Middlesex London, and I would like to say thank you to all of those working together at Harvest Hands, specifically Jim and Amy. It was wonderful to be there, to tour the facility, to see all of the incredible work that you do, to take the food that is all good and nourishable for us and take it on the road and make sure that the people that are most needy have it there for themselves. Thank you so much for your commitment, to all of the volunteers, and for everybody for just caring. Thank you, and thank you.
We want to welcome you to come to our distribution center here in St. Thomas. You'll see how we receive the product, how we sort it, how we package it, and then how we load the trucks and deliver to more than 90 locations throughout southwestern Ontario. Remember, you can watch our more than 60 volunteers selflessly give of their time. I wanted to just share quickly with you, I remember picking up some product early on a Sunday morning in London, Ontario, and as I was driving out of the store, I looked in the back and I saw absolutely a ton of product, and I thought to myself, I had the thought that this is actual seed that God has given us to sow in the region. And God reminded us at the very beginning of the scripture in 2 Corinthians 9:10 that says, "This generous God who supplies abundant seed for the farmer, which becomes bread for our meals, is even more extravagant towards you. First, he supplies every need plus more. Then he multiplies the seed as you sow it, so that the harvest of your generosity will grow." Honestly, we have seen in real time what happens when we take that seed and that he gives us and sow it. It just keeps coming back and back and back until it overflows. Of this increase, there seems to be no end.
Alrighty, thanks, Jim. And we want to thank you for those of you that have added comments on the chat box there of YouTube. And again, we want to encourage you to, you'll see that red box thermometer on the side of your screen there. It's inching its way up. Thanks to many of you that are giving donations over our website, over the Harvest Hands website, and also calling our toll-free line. The ladies are there live to take your calls tonight. And please consider what you could do to help further the work of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center by giving us a call. Every donation is appreciated. You don't have to give large donations, even something small. Whatever you feel you can do is going to make a difference. And we want to challenge you to consider joining as a monthly partner of the work of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center. Your monthly partnership matters. To join as a monthly partner, you can do that over the website by going to harvesthands.ca, or if you'd like to speak to somebody here either on the telecast tonight as it's live streamed, or you can call the office this week anytime to discuss joining as a monthly partner of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center, then $25, $50 a month will help sustain the work of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center year-round. And you can do that by giving us a call at 1-800-439-1898 or going to the website at harvesthands.ca. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jacinta. She's going to talk a little bit about our amazing volunteers and the difference they make to accomplish the mission. Oh, by the way, one other thought before we go over to you, Jacinta, is we want to announce our second winner tonight for those little Amazon Echo Dot speakers tonight. Congratulations to Mary Raycroft. Big shout out to her for putting her comments
big shout out
in there.
to you.
And thank you, Mary Raycroft, for contacting us. And when we get your address and information, we'll be sure to get this out into the mail to you this coming week. And thank you for your support of Harvest Hands Food Bank. We hope you enjoy this little gift as a token of appreciation for your support of the work of Harvest Hands. All right, Jacinta, over to you for some comments about those amazing volunteers.
Those amazing volunteers. You know, we sit here, Jim and I sit here tonight with George, but behind the scenes are a lot of people. And you know, when this curveball came our way, it changed what we were doing as a Bible school, as a group that gathers to study the Word. We went from doing that to, hey, let's drive truck and pick up some vegetables, and hey, let's go load this truck because now it has to go there. This group that's with us just shifted into what God handed us without complaining. And I mean, they are slugging boxes, they are lifting, they're carrying down the stairs and back up again, and they never quit. They actually, I think they're all stronger and healthier than they were 2 years ago. All of us are. But you know, without them, we couldn't do this. And without your help, we can't do this either. Because all these fabulous volunteers, not one of them gets paid. When I say volunteer, that's exactly what they do. And you saw in the video what they do. They come clean vegetables, they sweep floors, they gather boxes and carts and load up the cars, the trucks, the vehicles, whatever it is we're sending out at that moment. But without the volunteers, we could not do this. And without you and your giving, we can't continue to do this. But this project is not just for a few of us. It takes a village. It takes everyone. It takes business people that can come alongside of us. It's a great time of the year, you know, to make that donation. It'll help us and it'll help you. And so we thank you from the bottom of our heart for what you're doing to help us make this place a success. And you know, being married to Jim, I know we don't just look at St. Thomas. We're looking way beyond that, because this is a blueprint for something that we can take right across Canada. And I absolutely believe that that will happen. So we just thank you for the big giving hearts that have come alongside us and written those checks and brought in donations. We just thank you today for helping us.
Alrighty, thanks, Jacinta. And a little comment just came in the door from the Grace Cafe in St. Thomas. Is grateful for all your help. God bless you. And thanks to Ginny and Dawn for that comment. And want to thank you for another donor that just wrote in and sent in a $300 donation to help further the work of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center. And so with that, we're going to hear from firsthand from some of our volunteers, and a big shout out to them. We hope you enjoy this little video.
Hi, I'm Sally. I am a volunteer here at Harvest Hands, and I do mainly the deliveries. And it's just been such an honor and a joy to be able to go and be trusted to go and bring the food to the places where I'm designated to go to.
Hi, my name's Kathy. I'm one of the volunteers here at Harvest Hands. I love to come and help out. I have compassion for the people that need our help in this area. I help out many areas here at Harvest Hands, and one of them is doing bread.
Hi, I'm Sheila. I work at Harvest Hands, and I enjoy working here. It is a fun place to work, and the need is in great demand. We need you as a volunteer.
Hi, my name's Carol, and I volunteer at Harvest Hands because I believe the need out there is extreme, and I believe that it's time for us to stand up and speak out and do what we need to do. We are God's hands and feet.
Hi, my name is Joy, and I am privileged to be a volunteer here at Harvest Hands, getting an opportunity to help our most vulnerable in our community. I love being here and being able to help each and every day.
I'm Barb, and I'm one of the volunteers here at Harvest Hands. I really enjoy working here. It's feeding the hungry, and the people are magnificent. I enjoy working with them, and everybody enjoys what they are doing.
Hi, my name is Sherry. I'm a volunteer at Harvest Hands. I record everything that comes in and goes out that we provide to all the communities across southwestern Ontario, and it's such a blessing to be a part of it.
From all of us at Harvest Hands, we thank you for your support.
So that was a video of all of our great volunteers, and you see some of the work that they are doing. And today we're inviting anyone who wants to come and volunteer. There's a lot of different jobs that you can do, but we need help. As this thing is growing exponentially, we need more hands, more boots on the ground, more trucks, more drivers. So we invite you. If you've got an afternoon, I'm not talking about a full-time job. Some people come just for 2 hours, but that 2 hours really makes a difference, especially when you've got 10 people giving 2 hours. We have students that come in with their teacher, and they come in on a campaign basis teaching these kids to volunteer. These kids don't need the food, but it's good for them to see what actually goes on outside of their realm of influence. And so if you've got time, you know, a lot of seniors are just sitting at home. One fella came to us and offered to drive truck, and he said, I now have a purpose for my life. So if that's you, if you can help give some of your time for any of these areas, we encourage you to contact us through email, harvesthands.ca, or come show up at the warehouse. Come here and see what it's all about, and come join our team. And we thank you in advance for that. Jim.
Right. We have so many stories that we would love to be able to share with you. One of the stories that I would like to share with you, which speaks to the generosity of our of the people who provide us with food. One particular, I called to a grower one day and I said, do you have any produce for us this week? And she said, we certainly do. We actually have 19 pallets of tomatoes, cucumbers, and peppers. And as I told you earlier, we never say no. So we took the product. It took us 3 days to pick it up. It took us 5 days to deliver it, but we got rid of every last piece of the produce. And when I was driving back on the last load, I was overwhelmed with gratitude. I didn't know what to say to the lady, so I called her and I said, I can't find words to express how grateful we are for what you are done. And she said, stop it. She said, we need to be thanking your organization and your volunteers for what you're doing, because all of that food, if you hadn't taken it, would have ended up in the landfill. George.
A great story, Jim. Thank you so much. I mean, as I've been coming down here and visiting with you folks week after week, there truly are some amazing stories. And folks, one thing about Harvest Hands Food Distribution Centers, they're doing something that is very, very unique in the nation of Canada. And that is rescuing food from retailers, bakers, and growers. And instead of it being thrown out in the landfill, they're rescuing it, if you will, before it, often before the best before date, bringing it back here to the warehouse to sort it, to make sure that it's safe to eat, repackaging it. One potato farmer said, I've got 4,000 pounds of potatoes. If I can send it to your warehouse, you come and pick it up. And another, Jim and Lorraine, good friends, shout out to them. They said, we'll help with the purchase of those paper potato bags, because potatoes are best kept in paper and not in plastic. And so that's just an example of how Harvest Hands is working by repackaging the food in small family amounts and putting it on the trucks and getting it out to the agencies. Instead of putting it in the landfills, it's going out quickly, effectively, and efficiently. But of course, there's a lot of costs involved, as we've mentioned before. There's gloves that the volunteers need to do to protect the food from any contamination. There's safety protocols. There's different consumables. Can you imagine all the gas and diesel to fuel the trucks that come and go? And it's all done very, very cost effectively. There's nobody receiving high wages here of any kind. And so we want to thank some of you already that have called in tonight. Big shout out to one family that just phoned us and said, we want to give a memorial gift in memoriam of some of our family members in the amount of $10,000. And so hooray, big shout out to that family tonight for calling in that gift. That thermometer is, you're seeing that red box thermometer getting up to our goal tonight. And before we go off the air tonight, help us pick up the phone, go to our website, make a donation to the work of Harvest Hands. If you can't do it tonight, call it in this week to the office. But help us get to our goal of seeing that red thermometer box get all the way to the top tonight. We've had so many great comments in the chat box. I want to thank those of you that are written in comments tonight saying thank you for your help. Thank you to callers that have called in with gifts of $200, $300, $250. One new monthly partner that just has signed up. Another comment from BJY that says, I love those volunteers. What a heart. Big shout out to the volunteers. And Jasminda Forrest says, I'm so glad my son is learning about the need that is out there. Yeah. And that is much bigger than it is much bigger than he realized. He just started volunteering and is loving it. So big shout out to those volunteers. Big shout out to those that they're calling in. And again, we have one draw left tonight. So put your comments there in the chat box, and we'll have one more of these little Amazon Echo box to give away. They've been donated generously to the work of Harvest Hands, no cost to Harvest Hands at all. And we'd love to put one in the mail to you this week by just leaving your comments in the chat box. And so as we go to the next segment, Jim and Jacinta, we're going to see another video right now that we've prepared for your enjoyment. And so sit tight. We hope you enjoy this.
Hi, we're Jim and Jacinta Collins, founders of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Bank. Our heart is not only to help those in southwestern Ontario, but to give them a hand up for a better future. Our communities have come together to help more people in need.
We have over 60 volunteers that help us to package, load, and deliver rescued food throughout southwestern Ontario. Our work is funded entirely by generous people like you, and we receive no government funding. We ask you to consider giving us a monthly pledge so that we can continue feeding more people across southwestern Ontario. Come see what we're all about, harvesthands.ca, and fill out the form and help us to carry on, especially as we head into the winter months. We just thank you from the bottom of our heart for helping us to do this assignment. You know, in this season of perpetual hope, this Christmas season, I had an experience last Sunday. We actually did a family tradition and went and got our Christmas tree. And it was all jubilation and fun, and the snow was falling, and we had our now down-filled coats on and our gloves and our hats. And our precious little sweet grandkids and great-grands, and I'm going to give a shout out to them, Charlie and Finley and Ava. We were so happy to be with you. And you know, everything just seemed right in the world. And then on the way home, as we were coming into our town, under the bridge were probably 20 homeless people wrapped up in their blankets, their shopping carts with their earthly belongings there. It was cold. The snow was lovely when it was falling, but it was wet, so they would have been wet. And I'm telling you, this shouldn't be so in Canada. This should not be happening in our nation. And you know, we look to somebody else to do it, but that somebody else is you. It's you and me. Because if we don't do something, it won't change. But if we all do some little thing, it can make a huge difference. That we have come to know. And you know, had someone told me 2 years ago, I want you to gather $5 million worth of food and feed tens of thousands of people, I would have checked out, because your mind can't do it. But when God breathes on something, I'm telling you, you can't not do it. And we have not done this alone. When we had our open house, we had just moved into this facility, and someone gave us a forklift. I never thought I'd pray for a forklift, but we did, and God answered that prayer. And then When we moved in here, our rent increased 5 times. You know, you don't want to faint in your mind, but kind of you do. And yet some generous businessman, Peter and Laurel, gave us first and last month's rent. And it just took a weight off of us, you know, and we saw this is possible. And then someone gave us a truck. I've never prayed for a truck before, but we've been praying for them. And then someone gave us a refrigerated truck. So we know, and God is showing us, we're not in this by ourselves. This is a team. And when people come here, I'm telling you, when people come here, they know that this is a God project, that He has ordained, He has commissioned, and He's bankrolling it. But God doesn't kick gold bricks out of heaven. He uses people like you. He uses people like you. And no matter the gift, no matter the size, it all helps. And you know, just like you have real regular payments every month, same here. And so that's why we really encourage monthly partners to participate in this. You say, well, I can't come and volunteer. I can't do this and I can't. No, but you can give us $25. We can all do that. Or 50 or 100. That's what we're looking for. We're asking you to help us. Help us to change Canada one person at a time, one family at a time, one city at a time. And so go to that number, go to that website, harvesthands.ca. We're open 24/7, 365. I said to God the other night, I know you don't sleep, but like, wow, I need some sleep, because this is just, it's like a steamroller that hasn't stopped and it's going to continue. I just see my grandsons writing something. God bless our grandkids. We love our family. Families are great. But you know what? With this season approaching, those people under the viaduct, they're not going to have a Christmas tree. They're not going to have family that's going to bring them gifts. They're not going to have a down-filled $500 coat on their back. They wrap themselves up in wet blankets and tarps. Help. We can all help. You can all do something. And in advance, I thank you. Sure.
Wow. Well said, Jacinta. Jim, there's a little comment on the screen there from one of your grandkids. Maybe you want to read that.
Okay, yeah, it's from our grandson Bailey. He said, I just want to thank Jim and Jacinta for inspiring everyone. To have you as grandparents is a blessing. Wow.
Yeah, that's
we love
awesome.
you too, Bailey.
Yeah.
You'll always be my favorite number 2 grandson.
Can I just say something, George?
Absolutely.
About the just to say that no gift is too small, and I would like to tell you that. As we said earlier, that there's no cost for the food and there's no cost for the labor, and therefore that enables us. $1 will provide 3 meals for a family. One single dollar. So imagine the impact of $25 a month. George.
Absolutely. You know, small gifts are so important. Given one time, we want to encourage you to consider joining as a monthly partner by giving $25 or $50 a month. You can help change lives. And as we're getting ready to wind up the telecast tonight, there still is time for you to help us get that red box thermometer all the way to the top there. Give us a call.
Yeah.
We'd
on,
love
people.
to hear from you. 1-800-439-1898, or go to our website, harvesthands.ca. There's lots of resources and information on there. Click the donate button and make your gift to help further the work of Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center. And we want to announce our last winner of the Echo Dot cool speaker that we're giving away tonight. Congratulations to Julie. You're the lucky speaker winner tonight that we're going to be sending it out to you. So we want to thank you for your comments. We want to thank you for your support of Harvest Hands, and this will be coming out in the mail to you very soon. And some other practical ways I think that you can help is those of you that like to eat eggs from time to time. We're on a drive to collect. Maybe your church wants to get involved, or you want to get involved individually by collecting and saving these egg carton boxes. I think, Jim, you told me the other day that you received 14,000 eggs as a donation.
Yes.
14,000 eggs, folks. Think of the families that can be fed. But we get them in wholesale and big skids. And so go out there, and if you want to start a drive through your church or some other way, these little egg cartons, don't throw them out, don't recycle them, but send them over to Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center here in St. Thomas. Just give us a call. We'd be glad to talk and coordinate with you how these little egg carton boxes can make a difference. So before we go off the air tonight, Jim and Jacinta, some final closing thoughts, if you would.
Great appreciation for the support, great appreciation for generous hearts. What we have found as we are in touch with so many people, people want to give. They want to help. They feel good about what we are doing, but they don't know how to do it themselves. They don't know where to put their money. They don't know where it's actually going to go. We got one donation and it said, please be sure this does not go to administration. Well, it doesn't. It goes strictly straight to the food, picking it up and sending it out again. And so we just thank you for your help, your support, and being a part of this great humanitarian project.
Jim, some thoughts?
Well, I want to reiterate what Jacinta said and also thank all of our the donors, our volunteers, the people that have given to us financially, those people who pray for us regularly, and most of all, I want to acknowledge that all of this is only possible because of God, and God has opened up doors of opportunity with respect to the source of food, but He's also opened up doors of opportunity where we are able to distribute it. And there are many days when I can't actually comprehend all of the things that are happening. We have testimonies that, testimony upon testimony on testimony. And you know what testimony means is that God will do it again, and He continues to do that. Someone said to me, well, how are you able to do this? Actually, many people said that. And we are the first to say, we're just not that smart. But God has opened up doors. He's breathed on this, and all we have to do is take the next step. And we ask you to take that step with us.
Thank you, Jim. There's some small but important things that Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center needs right now, and one of them is jam. So for all you jam lovers, maybe you want to go out and buy a small box of jam maybe you can get a deal at your local supermarket by talking to the manager. But one thing that we're in very short supply as we get into the winter months is jam, strawberry, cherry, whatever flavor you wish to donate, but this is something they desperately need right now, so feel free to give Jim a call. And the other thing, of course, is we have a couple of important projects that we're trying to get done here, and that is 2 refrigerated containers. I think they're about $12,000 each, something like that, and that would save a tremendous amount in electricity costs here at Harvest Hands. So if you're more of a generous mindset as you consider your charitable giving as we come to the end of this year, if you'd like to know more about giving a gift towards a special project, call Jim here at the office at 1-800-439-1898. He'd love to give you a tour. He'd love to answer your questions about some of the special projects we're trying to get done here at Harvest Hands. And shout out to somebody that just called in, gave another $1,000 gift tonight towards the telethon. That goal, congratulations, big celebration. We've reached the goal to get that red thermometer all the way to the top. Thank you to each one of you that gave tonight, but we still need much more to get Harvest Hands Food Distribution Center established here, serving Southwestern Ontario. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jacinta. She started off the evening. Jacinta, it's been great to be here with you. I'm going to ask you to close out the evening as we come to the end of our telethon.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us. We thank you for participating. We thank you for the great comments. I can tell that you're passionate and compassionate. You're reading our mail. And so we thank you for linking arms with us. We thank you for the generosity. We thank you. We're so excited about the potential for the future. I mean, it almost takes our breath away the way this whole project has just taken off. And we've heard that comment, Jesus take the wheel. I think he did. I totally think he did. And that's good because we just have to follow him, and that's what we're doing. We never thought we'd find ourselves, never planned to find ourselves in this situation, but I'm so glad of where he has taken us. And because he's taken us there and you participated, you get the same blessing and the same reward that we do. Because if you read the story of David at Ziklag, and when he went to war and he kept some guys behind to look after the stuff. And when they came back with the spoils of war, his army said, okay, let's divide this up. And he said, no. These guys that stayed home and looked after the stuff, they get the same amount as you. And so we speak that blessing over you tonight. We say that not $1 in this place goes wasted, that God has taught us how to manage this whole situation with the finances. And we thank you for holding up our arms and helping us help people, because that's what this season is all about. But we've come to the real reality that it doesn't stop at Christmas. It's 12 months out of the year. But we can change what's happening in Canada. We can change it. Thank you for being with us tonight. We look forward to seeing you next year. And if you want, some updates and some reports, Jim would be most happy to send you an update monthly. So let us know if you're interested in hearing any news that comes our way. Good night.
Good night. God bless you.